All right, welcome to the second conversation on mortgages. Get ready to do some math. We're going to nerd out on this one. There's a lot of financial entertainers out there that say you should pay off your mortgage. And those same entertainers talk about how you can earn 12% inside of a mutual fund. So here's what they tell you. Pay off your house as quickly as possible. And once the house is paid off, then you can start saving. Then you can start earning 12% for retirement. Now, I would argue I haven't seen 12% consistently every year, ever. And I believe it's actually illegal for a lot of advisors to talk about you getting 12% every year, but there's no liability when you don't have any licenses. So I'm just using their words. They say pay off the house, then start saving. I can prove this theory wrong in 5 minutes. Let's take a real life example. If that is correct and the cheapest way to buy a house is paying cash, let's say I have a $200,000 house. I take my $200,000 and I pay cash for the house. And once my house is paid off, then I can start saving. Then I can start investing in this mutual fund that's going to pay the so-called 12%. Now, if we were to do the calculation, what's the real cost of paying off the house? The cost of paying off the house, as you've learned earlier, is the opportunity cost. What could that money have been worth if I was really going to get 12% inside of a mutual fund? So the cost of the house is $200,000 plus what the $200,000 could have earned me. Now, if I would get a $200,000 mortgage over 30 years, I'm going to pay $187,000 of interest over 30 years' time. This is why people say, when you have a 30-year mortgage, you're going to pay for the house twice. True. Yep. Why though? Because I'm going to earn more with my money. And if I listen to the financial entertainer, let's say I earn 12%. If I got a mortgage on my house for $200,000, and I take $200,000 and put it into a mutual fund that's going to earn me 12% every single year for 30 years, that account would be worth close to $6 million. Now you answer this question for yourself. What's more expensive? $180,000 of interest or losing $6 million in a mutual fund? This is why the math is flawed. I believe most financial entertainers mean well for the consumer, but most Americans spend more money than they make. They're not in a position to build wealth. And perhaps they should pay off the mortgage. But if you have the ability to pay off the mortgage, question, should I pay it off or should I use other people's money and then invest it elsewhere? Okay, let me give you one more example. As if the $6 million wasn't 6 million reasons not to pay off a house. Let's use one that's more realistic, because I don't think any mutual fund's actually averaging 12% rate of return. Now, let's use a real life example. Let's say I buy a house for $200,000. And the mortgage rate is going to be 5%, which is higher than what it is right now. But let's just say it's 5% mortgage, okay? 5% interest. And I do a 30-year mortgage. The interest on that is $187,000 over the 30-year period. What happens if I walk into the bank and on the right-hand side is the mortgage people? And I can go get my mortgage at 5% for 30 years. And on the other side is a CD. And the bank is selling CDs for 5% over 30 years. Okay? If I paid cash for the house, I would save $187,000 of mortgage interest. Okay? But I would lose what I could have earned in that CD. So let's assume now I get the mortgage for $200,000. I pay the $187,000 of interest. My $200,000 was sitting inside the CD, earning 5%. Over the 30 years, that 5% CD would have earned me $860,000 of interest. So, if you walked into a bank and you could pay them $187,000 so that they give you a check for $860,000, how many times do you want to do that? If you want more help on this, feel free to reach out. It can be a confusing topic and it's not a blanket answer for everyone. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about the financial entertainers, and hopefully you can apply this for yourself.